Hey guys, welcome to Rosie's Dessert Spot. Today we'll be creating this fun pumpkin and fall inspired cake. I'm working with a 6-inch here and it's already been crumb coated and stacked. I've got some buttercream tinted yellow with a little bit of gel food color. Smooth the buttercream over the top of the cake and then work onto the sides. Once it's nice and covered, grab your frosting scraper and smooth out your buttercream. You might find that there are some spaces that have little pockets. Fill in with more buttercream and continue to smooth until you're happy with the finish. I like to use a nice wide spatula to bring that lip of frosting towards the middle of the cake, and then pop this into the fridge for a good 20 or so minutes just to make sure that the buttercream has time to set. While the cake is resting, take your fondant. I've used gel food colors again to color my fondant. Roll it to about 1.5 to 2 millimeters in thickness. Cut out your desired leaf shape and then press it through a leaf veiner or a floral veiner, something big enough to cover the whole front of the leaf. If you need to, reposition it on the veiner to get to the sides if it didn't quite reach. And then on some baking paper, I've taken powdered food color in green, a blush brush, and I'm just creating these little circles and barely touching the edge of that leaf. This is going to give it a really nice kind of graded ombre, I don't know if you call it ombre, but graded color, going from dark towards the edges and light towards the middle of the leaf. And I do try to maintain a really pale color for that leaf, so if you know you're going to be covering your cake with green, try to color the base of the fondant a really, really light green. The lighter it is, the I guess the better the powder will give that sort of dynamic look to the leaf, so you have those darker spots and lighter spots. You could also do this on a yellow colored leaf as well, although I did go in with a lot of orange towards the base and I thought it looked really, really good on this yellow color. I sectioned off the very bottom to add that orange, and I'm adding it just to the base, maybe 1/3 of the way up the leaf, and the rest of the leaf is in green. To make it look even more rustic, you can take a little bit of red and brush it through the middle of the leaf and also in little sections along the edges to make it look aged. Pop it onto your cake with a little bit of water, and I've just got a brush going around the whole outside. Because the cake has been sitting in the fridge, it's nice and chilled and firm, so I can press it onto the cake without any problems. Overlap them slightly so that you can hide the base of your cake. Granted, if you color your buttercream the same color as part of the leaf, then it should camouflage back behind the leaf pattern anyway. When your first row is complete, apply more leaves, overlapping again towards the bottom, so I had 2 rows in total. Don't be afraid to overlap the cake board as well. You can always cut off the excess and make it all look seamless at the base. Once you're happy with the coverage, take a sharp knife or a sharp spatula and run it along the cake board, cutting off the excess. For the little basket design at the top, I've taken logs of brown fondant. 4 or 3 will do the trick, and then twist them all together to create this kind of net, or nest I should say. Onto the cake she goes. You can apply it with a little bit of water. I pushed it right out to the edge of the cake and then laid on a few more on top. I left a small section right in the middle where I could fit in my little pumpkins. To make the pumpkins, you're going to need some yellow or orange fondant. Roll it into the size ball that you'd like your pumpkin to be, and then take a brush or the edge of a teaspoon and run it along the outside to create those indents that you typically see on the pumpkin. From there, I've taken the orange luster dust, concentrating it on the lines and then shading in the whole thing. I've used colored edible powders to create all the shades in the pumpkin and the leaf, but if you wanted to, you could even use an airbrush with airbrush colors. This will work really nicely and will give you a much more seamless look on your pumpkin and on your leaves as well. I gave it a little bit of a press to make it look a bit more like a squashed pumpkin, and then I added it to the top of my cake. For the center, you can take some of that brown fondant, roll it in the palm of your hand, keeping one side thick and the other side thin, press into the top of your pumpkin, and then feed that little stem through. You could apply a little bit of water just to make sure that it stays in place. And that's it. Your little pumpkin fall leaf cake is complete. I hope you guys give this one a go. If you do, hashtag Rosie's Dessert Spot so I can check it out. Thanks so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe, and we'll catch you again in the next one.